Hey guys, Montel here. Hey look, I want to share something with you, and I think it's really important that I do. I'm one of those breakthrough cases of COVID that you've been hearing about. I'm a person who suffers from an autoimmune disease, who has a compromised immune system, takes medication to do that, but I'm also a person who was fully vaccinated. I was vaccinated back in January, February, got both shots January, the end of January, got my first, beginning of February, got my second. Thought I was protected with a suit of armor. But even though I had that suit of armor, I stayed home, stayed inside, did not go anywhere. My wife didn't go to restaurants. I walk outside to just take my puppy on a walk and go back home and stay inside. Keep the doors closed. We have food delivered. I make sure they leave it at the door. They walk away before I open the door and pull inside. I've done everything I can do from a mitigation standpoint to stay away from COVID because I recognize that a person with a compromised immune system like mine, some of us have fared a little worse and not done very well, especially through hospitalizations. And that's the one thing I did not want to do, be hospitalized. So as crazy as it's going to sound, you got to understand how shocked I was when last Tuesday I proactively reached out to my doctor and said, look, can you write me a script so that I can go and get an antibody test because I want to make sure my antibodies are still going good, having been vaccinated. And, I and my wife are thinking about traveling, but before we do, I'd like to have this test. I went to a laboratory that had a sign on the door, no mask, no entry. You must wear a mask to enter. I went in, standing at the counter. A minute later, guy walks in behind me, almost knocks me down, but he's that close. Mouth breathing, no mask on. And I remember looking at him and thinking to myself, geez, this guy doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right about him. But I stepped away, moved away, and I was still talking to the person at the counter. Went in, had my antibody test. My antibody test came back that I had antibodies. However, the close proximity to Mr. Butthead without a mask, I will tell you, I know that that's the moment that I contracted COVID. Why? Because 2 hours later when I got home, I got home and then 2 hours later, sneezed. I haven't sneezed in 3 years. Sneezed. Then I had another sneeze, and another sneeze, and another sneeze. And I just started feeling a little odd Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, I woke up with a blistering headache that wouldn't go away. Had the headache all day long. Checked my temperature. My temperature normally runs a little low anyway, but my temperature was, within range. It was 99.1, so nothing really to shout about. But this persistent headache didn't stop. And I started feeling just like, did I just catch a summer cold? That was all day Wednesday. Then Thursday, finally, Wednesday night, I started taking a little Tylenol, and my headache went away. I noticed that my temperature had gone up when I woke up Thursday morning. It was about 99.8. Thought that's a little odd for me because my temperature never goes above 98.5, 98.6. But then I noticed that the Tylenol I was taking was making it come down a little bit. So I went all day Thursday thinking, this is just in your mind. No, nothing wrong with you. By Thursday evening, I just did not feel right. So I decided to go and take a test. And I will tell you, I went to a really unbelievable place. And I shout out to anybody in the Miami area. If you need to get a test, whether it be a rapid test, an antigen test, PCR test, whichever one you want, I suggest you go to Alliance Health there at 333 West 41st Street in Miami, 5th floor. Go to those guys and, tell RA that Montel sent you. But, seriously, they were some of the most compassionate, nice, kind, quick, in and out in like 5 minutes. Test didn't hurt. I did 2 tests. I did the quick test, the rapid turnaround test, and I did the longer PCR test, 8-hour test. My rapid test came back positive Thursday night. I wanted to make sure it was completely valid, so didn't jump up and down until Friday when the test came back, and it came back, yes, positive. Yes, you have COVID. Now I got to tell you, some might say, see, that's part of the reason why you don't need to get the vaccine. No, are you kidding me? Had I not gotten a vaccine, I think I would have had COVID in a much worse, virulent form than I have right now. So I think I'm very, very blessed. Because I do have a compromised immune system, the impact of this could have been ridiculous, and it's not. So I'm going to beg you. I know there are a lot of people out there who think that you're infringing on your personal rights to take a vaccine. You're taking something that wasn't tested, which is the biggest fallacy and fake news ever, because these guys have been working on this vaccination process for over the last 10 years. Yes, they were able to finalize a vaccine in a few months, but the process by which science was developed was a 10-year process. There are so many people who are making up whatever ridiculous story you can make up to not go get a vaccine. All you're doing is putting lives in jeopardy. We know that vaccines against measles and other things that we've done in the past have helped protect mankind. We need mankind to be kind to each other again and try our best to protect those we love and protect yourself. Get the vaccine. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Keep yourself in a position that you don't have to come down with this thing. Because I'm telling you, even in a less virulent form, it's no joke.